Every spring, the streets of Assam fill with thousands of people to celebrate Bohag Bihu. It is a massive, vibrant festival marking the Assamese New Year, characterized by public dances, loud music, and intense shoulder-to-shoulder crowds. During these celebrations, the streets are saturated with traditional attire. Men wear the classic dhoti and gamosa, while women drape themselves in the Mekhela Chador, an elegant two-piece traditional garment. For weeks, this specific look becomes the default uniform of the entire state. But while the public squares are packed, residential neighborhoods experience the opposite effect. Homes sit dark and empty as families go out to celebrate. The streets surrounding these houses are suddenly filled with visiting strangers, making it impossible for neighbors to keep track of who actually belongs on the block. For an opportunist looking to break into a house, a heavily populated cultural festival offers the ultimate form of urban camouflage. You have empty targets, loud background noise, and a stream of unfamiliar faces. The standard logic of criminal camouflage is simple. Wear something ordinary so you blend into the background. You want to look like everyone else, avoiding any distinctive features that a witness might remember. A 32-year-old man named John Moni Sharma deviated from this logic. To pull off a residential burglary in Guwahati during the festival, Sharma bypassed the standard burglar's profile and wore a woman's Mekhela Chador, completed the look with a wig, and carried a handbag. The detail that makes this choice truly baffling is his crew. Sharma was actually accompanied on this heist by his wife, Dinata Devi, yet she did not wear the disguise. Sharma opted to wear the elaborate traditional women's clothing himself. By overcomplicating his cover, Sharma broke the cardinal rule of blending in. Instead of becoming invisible in the chaotic festival crowd, an adult man poorly disguised in a wig and traditional silk garments transformed himself into a memorable target. Despite the bizarre wardrobe choice, Sharma, his wife, and a third accomplice named Gagan Barman successfully broke into a local residence. Navigating the streets of Guwahati using a van and a scooty, the three-person crew managed to secure a significant amount of loot. They didn't limit themselves to easily pocketable items. Along with standard cash and gold, the crew stole a large quantity of muga silk. Often referred to as Assam's pride, muga is an incredibly rare, golden-hued silk that holds immense cultural and material value in the region. They also hauled away heavy raw materials. Alongside the delicate silk, the trio stole bundles of raw jute, a coarse natural fiber. Stealing high-end silk and raw jute requires a different logistical approach than swiping cash. These are culturally specific commodities. To extract value from them, the crew would need to plug into specific, local merchant networks willing to buy stolen textiles. Normally, thieves rely on a fence, a black market buyer who purchases stolen goods for a fraction of their value. This severs the connection to the physical evidence and provides the criminals with untraceable, liquid cash. Instead of fencing the gold on the black market, they used it as collateral for a bank loan. Police called this an idea of investment. By pledging the gold, they attached their legal identities and an official paper trail to the stolen assets. Pushing stolen goods through a regulated bank negates the anonymity a wig provides. Seeking to maximize profit through a legitimate institution immediately identified the crew. Law enforcement acted quickly. A team from the East Guwahati Police District out of the Basistha police station identified the suspects and intercepted the trio. During the raid, officers recovered the entire bizarre toolkit. They impounded the van and scooty, confiscated the burglary tools, and seized the disguise itself, including the handbag and wigs. All three of the suspects were arrested. The contrast here is striking. Sharma went through the massive, complicated effort of cross-dressing in traditional festival wear to avoid detection, only to be arrested by police shortly after the crime. Physical camouflage means nothing when you hand your ID and stolen goods to a bank teller. Data-driven, institutional tracking outpaces a cheap wig. Following the arrests, the Guwahati police issued a formal public warning, specifically urging citizens not to misuse traditional attire for unlawful activities, and reminding the public that doing so guarantees legal consequences. The central irony of the Mekhela Chador heist is the illusion of invisibility. The criminals believed that by wrapping themselves in the visual spectacle of the festival, they could hide in plain sight. But once the festival ends and the massive crowds disperse, that protective cover completely vanishes, leaving the exposed individual highly visible. Cultural camouflage might fool a passing neighbor on a busy street, but it offers zero protection against the forensic reality of the law.